What's up, YouTube? Today I'm doing a quick deck profile slash discussion video of a deck that I'm considering picking up, at least for a little bit, in the new format. The deck is Six Samurai, and the only reason I consider picking up this deck is, one, I have it, two, I had success with it this format at one tournament, and it worked really well for me. It was very consistent in putting Xian out first turn. I'm just going to get right into the discussion and profile, and I hope you guys enjoy. So first, Kigeki. You don't play 3 because it's way too much. Having 3 kind of clogs, you'll open up with multiple Kigekis, and in some sense that's good, but in other ways it's like probably the worst thing ever. So you reduce the number to 2 to kind of compensate, because opening multiple Kigeki, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best, so you don't want it to happen. You play 3 Kagemusha. You play 3 Kagemusha because it works well with Kigeki, it works well with Elder, it works well with Kizan, it works well with Grandmaster, it works well with everything. With Grandmaster you make Black Rose, with Kizan you make Barkion, with Elder and with Kigeki you make Xian, or whatever level 5 Synchro you need. But yeah, and this card's effect, being able to absorb the effect of the spell trap that targets, is amazing, because this card can save you so much from Fiendish Chain. So let's say you have multiple Kagemushas on field and you manage to summon a level 3, right? So you're going to make Xian, and then you have a Kagemusha. If that Kagemusha is in defense mode, and you attack into Mirror Force, you negate that with Xian. If they Fiendish Chain, you use Kagemusha, and what's your opponent going to do? Because then Kagemusha's effect is negated, not Xian's. But it doesn't matter if Kagemusha's effect is negated, because it just doesn't. His effect is kind of irrelevant after it's been negated. It's like he never had one. So it's really amazing just to be able to absorb cards like Fiendish Chain, Dimensional Prison even. You can absorb with Kagemusha, I believe. Yeah, you can. So, like, Fiendish Chain, Dimensional Prison, Compulse, these cards can all be absorbed by Kagemusha, and it inherently makes your opponent a little bit frustrated because they're trying to hit a problem and you're sort of skating around it. You're like, well, I'm just going to make you play poorly and give myself advantage while you can't do anything. So, 2 Elder, I don't feel 1's enough. And the reason being, if you don't open with Kagemusha and Asceticism, then you want to open with Elder and Asceticism if you didn't open with Kigeki and Kagemusha. And this is just ways to guarantee you make Xian, and I feel this is more consistent having 2 of them. It just works better, in my opinion. 3 Kizan, because it's Kizan. Grandmaster. Grandmaster, if Kizan has 2 or more different Six Samurais on field, this is actually an Asceticism target, so that's amazing. Grandmaster also is pretty big, so you can get him for some quick damage, and you can end games really quickly with this deck. This deck has no issue OTKing at all. I'd actually say this deck could almost OTK as easy as Dragon Rulers could, not this format, but the one before, and we all know how ridiculous that was. But yeah. 1 Inishi. Inishi is a Compulse, and Compulse is good. And setting up Samurais in your graveyard is really not that hard, and it just makes this card so much better. Not to mention, I believe it gains 500. Yeah, it becomes a 22. And 2200 is a lot. So it's pretty nice. You have to control another 6 Samurai, but again, that's really not that hard. So yeah. It's also the Asceticism target for Kigeki when Kigeki's boosted. Hand and Mizuho, because these kind of go together. I feel if you play hand, you should be playing Mizuho, because Mizuho and this kind of go like really well together. Let's say you summon like a Kageki, and then you summon hand, and then you can asceticism Mizuho. After you asceticism Mizuho, you can use hand to pop a back row, and then you can use Mizuho to pop Spell or Trap. I'm gonna save to make sure this doesn't time out. Okay. But yeah, and like if you have the asceticism and you're just trying to go for a game, 3,200 damage is a lot. So that's also pretty nice. 3 smoke signal. It just increases your consistency of opening with Kageki Kagemusha, basically, or opening with Elder or Kagemusha and asceticism, and then 1 Rhoda. So you basically have 4 Rhoda in this deck. That's basically what it is. 3 asceticism. This card's amazing. To be honest, it's never going to get destroyed in the end phase, because you're always going to do something with it. So the whole destroyed during the end phase part, yeah, that's kind of insufficient. And not to mention, I believe, no, okay. So they made that somewhat balanced. I was thinking that Grandmaster would get its effect when it was popped by this, but it doesn't. But yeah, so asceticism, still amazing. 3 United, all the draw power. So you have 4 Searchers and then 3 cards that are kind of like Pot of Greed. And the reason I say these cards, and the reason I say United is like Pot of Greed, do you really not want to summon those cards? I can never think of a situation where I don't want to summon monsters with six Samurais, so I never see a reason why United would be bad. I mean, you summon monsters that you were going to summon anyway with this on the field, and then you activate it like Pot of Greed, and it's a +1. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I like 3 Pot of Greed in my deck. So, yeah, that's the way I think about United. I want to summon anyway, and this is just an added bonus. Dark Hole. There's no explanation for this. It's the only one of the Trinity standing. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. Some people play 1 of this, and to be honest, I completely agree that 1 is a good number, but back row hates me. Like, whenever there is a back row on the field, for me, it's Solemn, Compulse, Bottomless, or Torrential. It doesn't matter what the situation is, it's one of those 4 cards. Typically. Unless I've already seen those 4 cards, then it's probably Fiendish Chain or Mirror Force. But those are commonly played cards too, so it also makes sense. But even if it's just 1, like, it's typically one of those 4, so it's 1 out of 40. Into the traps. 2 Double-Edged Sword. This card's amazing. You can OTK so easily with this thing. Or just explode. So basically what you could do is, let's say you have this first turn, you set it, and you go into your next turn. Well, you draw. Let's say you have Kageki and Kagemusha, summon them. Hyper Librarian, activate this, and then summon into Xian, draw a card for Hyper Librarian, and you kind of get a +1 off of it, and you're not taking any damage. Or you can just attack and try to go for game. That's also a possibility. 2 Mirror Force and D-Prisons, the attacking hate, Fiendish Chain, effect hate, Bottomless, Torrential, Compulse, and Warning. I do not think the format's ready for Valor yet. Testing through it. I mean, Valor doesn't hit Evil Storms, it doesn't hit Constellars, it hits Geargias, but not, I mean, not to a very... It doesn't hit them even that bad. It's kind of sad. I mean, so you stopped in Armor. They have 2 more. Whereas this card is permanent. So, it is nice. I feel like if decks develop that are really effect reliant, then Valor will kind of pick up. But at this moment, I just don't see it. Side deck. 3 Imperial Island War. Zombies. Spellbooks. Chaos Dragons. They don't win against this card. They just don't. I mean, and the reason they don't... Mizuki is dead under Imperial Iron Wall. And like a lot of their plays are related to banishing stuff and just winning based on that. So if they can't use Mizuki, I mean, they lose the best card. And the reason zombies weren't competitive is that Plague Spreader and Mizuki were at 1, and basically this card is saying Mizuki doesn't matter. So the deck kind of sucks if this is up. Next, Rivalry of Warlords. Evil Swarm, Constellars, random other stuff. I mean, this technically this hits Mermails. I would never side this in against Mermails, but technically this hits Mermails. Oh, this was not supposed to be in here. Blech. Soul Drain, Dimensional Prison, Macro. This is for Mermails, Dark World, random other stuff. 3 Light Mirror. Light Mirror is just good, and I actually have to check what I'm playing in the other 3, so yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm actually citing 3 Max C's. I didn't realize that. It makes sense though. It sounds like me. I mean, I would do that just to hit things. Extra, Xian, Hyperlibrarian, Catastor, Beast, Barkion, Black Rose, Stardust, Scrap, Excalibur, Blade Armor. This card's amazing. Black Ship, Diamond Dire, Cowboy, Zemains, and Leviathan. So this has been my deck profile, deck talk thing, and I'll talk to you guys later. I should be doing a video tomorrow, I think. I'm not exactly sure what today is, but oh, it's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone. So I'm probably not doing a video tomorrow. But Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.